सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादम् शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Bhagavan Bhashyakara introduces the second mantra. We'll read the Bhashya. Evam Atmavidaha Putradi Yeshanatraya Sanyasena Atmajnana Nishtataya Atma Rakshitavyaha Iti Yeshaha Vedarthaha. Thus, evam, thus, Atmavidaha, for the person, for the one who knows the Atmasvarupa. It also refers to a person of Tivra Mumuksha, very intense search, intense seeker for that person also. But for that person, Atmavidaha, for that person, Putradi Yeshanatraya Sanyasena, by renunciation of the threefold Yeshana, longing, craving, by giving up. And that precedes, that is Tyaga. The giving up is seen as an essential, necessity for Jnana Nishtha. So therefore Bhashyakara says, Putradi Yeshanatraya Sanyasena. This is indicated by the words in the previous mantra, Tena Tyaktena, it is indicated. And also, Magrudaha Kasyasvidhanam. Don't long for any possession, anybody's possession, it was said. These two indicate renunciation, giving up of ownership. That is what is said as Putradi Yeshanatraya Sanyasena. This is seen, Bhashyakara consistently presents this Tyaga, giving up, renunciation as essential for Jnana Nishtha. Therefore he continues, Atma Jnana Nishthataya. as a person who is committed to, who stands firm, nitta, who stands firm with reference to Atma Jnana, in gaining Atma Jnana, and also once gained abides in that, abiding in that. So Atma Jnana Nishtha. Nishtha, a commitment. Okay, for gaining Atma Jnana and also abiding in that, by that Atma Jnana Nishthataya, for that Atmavit, for that person, Atma Rakshitavyaha, the self, the individual has to be safeguarded, protected. Atma may refer to the reflexive pronoun oneself. Need not be taken literally to refer to Paramatma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Satchidananda Atma, but oneself, the individual. Atma can be reflexive pronoun, oneself. The individual has to be protected, safeguarded. Atma Rakshitavyaha. Because Atma, the true self, the higher self, is not in need of any raksha, etc. There is no second entity by which it can be changed or destroyed. Therefore, there is no need for raksha, protection for the Atma. Therefore, here we can take it, the Atma word can refer to oneself, the individual, Jivaha, who takes oneself to be samsari. Earlier, one has to protect oneself from samsara, right? Take oneself out of samsara. That is what is raksha, protection. Atma Rakshitavyaha. Oneself is to be protected from samsara, from being a samsari. That is what is Atma Rakshitavyaha. Iti Yeshaha Veda Arthaha. This is the meaning of the mantra. Veda here refers to Veda Bhaga, the mantra Artha. And this is also the Tatparya in most of the, in many Upanishads also. Therefore, Veda Arthaha. This is the key, this is the essence of all the teaching. It is okay. Veda Arthaha is okay. One has to give up one's commitment, one's hold, one's keenness for the Anrita, what is Nitya, and one has to take to what is lasting, what is Satya, and then thereby become a person of Atmanishta, and thereby one has to lift oneself up from samsara, free oneself from samsara. This is the Vedartha. The Vedartha can mean the mantra artha, the first mantra artha, meaning of the first mantra. That is also okay. Also it can mean the entire Veda, entire Upanishad artha. That also is okay. Okay. All right. The word Atma Rakshitavyaha, these the words Atma Rakshitavya can also mean Paramatma Rakshitavya in a figurative sense. It is to say that one has to own one's innate Swarupa, innate nature, and abide in that, whereby continuing to live in the fullness, in wisdom, in happiness. That is the figuratively Atma Rakshitavyaha iti. The simpler meaning is the individual samsari, the seeming jiva that has to save itself, protect itself, safeguard itself. That is okay. We have this word raksha, etc. Right? In the yajna, in the yaga, you may see at the end of the yaga they take the ashes of what is offered in the agni and then they apply to the forehead, the black colored ashes. You may see it's called a raksha. And when we do the camphor light, that's all that offer the light, and then we do raksham dharayami, etc. we say. So that's called the Raksha is there. The protection, the safeguard is there. So here Atma Raksha. Incidentally, 2 days later, we are going to have this function, this festival. Raksha Bandhan is going to complete. I think so, right? 2 days, 10. Raksha Bandhan, okay. Called Rakhi. Rakhi is Raksha. Raksha Bandhan. Anyway, Rakshitavyaha. So this is for the person of wisdom and a person who is a seeker of wisdom, seeker of knowledge, seeker of freedom. This is the Vedartha, the first mantra. Now, what about the second mantra? Bhashyakara says here, Atha Itarasya Anatmajnataya Atmagrahanaya Ashaktasya Idam Upadishati Mantraha. Atha, now, Itarasya, for the other person. Who is the other person? The first person mentioned is Atmavit, the one who is committed to know Atmaswarupa, own Atmaswarupa, and one who knows Atmaswarupa. So here the word, the Atmavit refers to both the Jnani and the Jignasu. Both the Vidwan and the Vividishuhu. It refers to both. The one who knows and the one who is in the process of knowing. Right? Both it refers to. And for the other person, Itarasya. Who is that Itara? The other one, Bhashyakara explained, Anatmajnaha. Na Atmajna. Not a knower of the truth of Atma. Not the Atmajna. Not the knower of Atma. Being that person, Anatmajnataya. Anatmajnata is the being the knower of, being the non-knower of Atma, not knower of Atma, Anatmajnata. And then by that, in that way, Anatmajnataya, the third case, in the sense of Itambhave, being. So, being an Anatmajna, having the Anatmajnata, right? Being the one who does not know Atmaswarupa, Anatmajnataya, since the person is ignorant, Atmagrahanaya Ashaktasya, Ashaktaha, incapable, Shaktaha, capable, Ashaktaha, Na Shaktaha, Ashaktaha, Na Shaktaha, not capable now, not ready now, not committed now, Ashaktasya. Ashakta for what? Atmagrahanaya Ashaktaha, incapable of grasping, grahana, grasping Atma, that is to say, unable to recognize, cognize Atmaswarupa. Atma grahanaya ashaktasya ajnaninaha padajnani idam upadishati mantraha idam upadishati. The mantra teaches this, mantra gives this instruction, upadesha. Tell this person, what does this person should do? Veda, seen as a pramana for all. That all means it must give the immediate means for moksha, also the preparatory means for moksha. Immediate means for moksha to a person who is prepared, who is qualified, who is able, samartha, adhikari, moksha adhikari. And it has to give the preparatory means for a person who is not ready now, not prepared now, not capable now. It has to give. Therefore, the Upanishad gives, the Veda gives the upaya, the means for a person who is not capable now. What for this Upadesha is given? So that the person can become capable. ready. So prepare the person, prepare oneself. For that, this Upadesha is given. What is the Upadesha here? Kurvanneva, etc. is given. This is for we take it as Karma Yoga. In a specific sense, we take it as Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is advised for a person who wants to become prepared, right? Who wants to prepare oneself. Get ready. What is the readiness? As we know, Chitta Shuddhi is the readiness, purity of heart, purity of one's mind, of oneself. This is the preparedness. For Chitta Shuddhi, Karma Yoga is given. As we see very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga Vidhanam injunction is there. So this is said in the Upanishad mantra, Karma Yogam Anutishta, may you take to Karma Yoga. But then there may be people who are not ready for Karma Yoga also. What about them? So for them, Kamya Karma, do Kamya Karma, Vihitam Karma, whatever is enjoined as noble, do that. Not because it is enjoined, but it gives nobility. It leads a person to nobility, to goodness, abiding happiness. Therefore, Vihitam, it is enjoined. Veda is not just a book of do's and don'ts, it's a book of telling what is good and not good. Telling what is good and what is to be done to gain what is good. Right? What is good and what should I do to gain what is good. Right? So that is the spirit of Veda. So we say, for sake of brevity, we say injunction, enjoined, commanded, etc. We say the Vedic command, etc. We say for sake of brevity. It's not necessarily a book of commands, but it's a book of telling what is good and what is to be done to gain what is good. Alright, so for a person who is not ready for Karma Yoga, even for that, one who is not ready, Kuru Karma, do Kamya Karma. Kamya Karmas are allowed, right? They do not lead to Papa. Given a particular desire, a person may take to proper means or improper means also to accomplish the object of desire. Suppose I need money. It is possible that I may take to proper means, earning the money, or I may take to improper ways like robbing, stealing, etc. One may take to. In order to fulfill my legitimate desires, there are legitimate means. That is what is Kamya Karma is about. Legitimate means for gaining legitimate ends. Kamya Karma. By doing Kamya Karma, a person gradually becomes free from the hold of the Kama, which makes that person Kami, right? Gradually becomes free from that. And thereby a person transforms into a Karma Yogi later on. Karmi now, Kami now, later on becomes Karma Yogi. And later on, by being a Karma Yogi, later on becomes Jignasu, Mumukshu. Later on the person becomes Jnani, right? A wise person. So this is the Krama here. So first of all, one has to take oneself away from the illegitimate actions, illegitimate choices, wrong choices. For that, Kamya Karmani Vihitani, Kamya Karmas are set. So, here in this mantra, we can, the Kurvanneva Karma, etc. This mantra can mean Karma Yoga also, Kamya Karma also. depending upon the preparedness of the individual, it can mean karma yoga or kamya karma, both. Adhikari Veda, the level of preparedness, there is difference, and according to the difference, we take it as to mean karma yoga or kamya karma. Okay. This is what the karma. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna points out lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta maya naga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Two nishtha, two committed lifestyles. One is pravritti, other is nivritti. One is engaging, other is disengaging. Pravritti and nivritti. Engage in activities which will result in drishta adrishta result. That is pravritti marga. And the nivritti marga is disengaging oneself gradually from those activities which will result in results of herein, hereafter, herein and hereafter. Aihika, amushmika, herein and hereafter results. That is a priority for the Kami Purusha, a simple person who has desires to fulfill. But whereas Nivritti Marga, the one who is grown, who is mature, now gradually disengages, withdraws from those actions which will result in the Aihika Amushmika results, herein and hereafter results, now and later results. That is the Nivritti Marga is there, and the person engages in Jnana Marga. So these two Margas are enjoined in the Veda because it is there in people. It is not that Veda enjoins these two Margas. There are people who take to either of these, right? Some take to Pravritti Marga, some take to Nivritti Marga. Some take to life of engagement, style of engagement, activity. The other take to withdrawn from that, disengaging. There are people, and therefore Veda talks about them. It is not that Veda enjoins these two margas. These two margas are available for the people of whoever is ready for whatever that is, they take to. So, two margas, two lifestyles, two commitments are pointed out. The first mantra points out Nivritti Marga, Magradaha, Tena Tyaktena, etc. indicate the Nivritti Marga. Here this mantra points out the Pravritti Marga, the way of the path of engagement, activity, that is said here. Alright? Sona mantra. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishechatam samaha evam tvayi nanyatetosti na karma lipyate nare kurvanneveha karmani jijivishechatam samaha evam tvayi nanyatetosti na karma lipyate nare. Kurvan eva iha karmani. Kurvanneva, nakara doubling because of sandhi. When we separate the words, there is only one nakara. Kurvan eva iha karmani jijivishet shatam samaha. Evam tvayi na anyatha itaha asti nanyatetosti na anyatha itaha asti na karma lipyate nare. kurvan eva iha karmani. Karmani kurvan eva. Doing actions alone. By doing actions alone, karma alone. Iha, here, in the world of transaction, in the world of relativity, vyavahara bhumi, in the plane of vyavahara, iha vyavahara bhumau, manushya janmani, in the human birth, kurvaneva karmani, remaining active, keep doing things. Active, be active, keep doing things that have to be done. The word karma may refer to laukika karma, the responsibilities also, our roles, our responsibilities, right? Responsibilities which we deliberately choose for ourselves, right? And the responsibilities thrust on you. The world wants you to do this, expects you to do this, be this, do this. There is a expectation, there is a demand, there is a need from the world, expects from you to do this. That's also. So, responsibilities, roles, either way, either chosen by oneself or needed, demanded from the world. That is the karma. So it refers to laukika karma also. The word karma refers to laukika karma, duties, responsibilities, roles, etc. What comes by taking those responsibilities, trying to fulfill them to the best of one's ability, one's intention, one's knowledge, one's ability, one's intention. Keep it best, right? Do the best, do your best all the time to your maximum possible potential. Don't underdo, don't underachieve, okay? Never be an underachiever. That's it. Life becomes dull, right? You underperform, life becomes not worthy, it becomes sort of worthless. Never underperform, never try to be an underachiever. Do your best. Laukikam karma. And also Vaidikam karma, the action, the duties enjoined by the Shruti also, the Pramana, the Shastra, Vaidikam karma also. The Veda enjoins certain karmas, Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, and also Kamya karma. Nitya karma like prayer is all Nitya karma. Laukika karma, the mundane roles, the relative roles, that is already I said. Now here Nitya karma refers to the prayer, etc. Be prayerful, saying one's prayers, etc. These are all Nitya karma. And then Bhashyakara points out Agnihotra, etc. As it was relevant in those days, it was relevant. Nowadays, nobody practices. Almost nobody practices these things. Almost nobody does. Only 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000 they do it. Otherwise, people don't do this nowadays. Anyway, what was prevalent in that day, what was accepted, Agnihotra, etc., doing that's all Nitya karma. Then Naimittika karmas, duties, actions to be performed on specific occasions, as occasioned. Like if a couple, husband and wife, if the parents beget a child, then there is a naming ceremony, etc. Namakaranam, naming ceremony is there. That is an occasional karma, Naimittika karma. And when we come to Ganga, Then we take a bath, Ganga Snana, etc. We do, that's all. And then saying some prayers, we do take a ritual bath in the Ganga. That's all Naimittika karma. And then on specific occasions we give gifts, charity we do, dakshina we give. That's all Naimittika karma. On the eclipse days, like solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, these are all special occasions, very sacred times when dana etc. is valued most. And that too in Ganga, on the Ganga banks, on an eclipse day, to a Brahmana, give some charity, give some danam. That's a great gift. So that's all Naimittika karma, occasional roles, occasional duties. Then there is the kamya, purely out of one's own desire, one's own sense of want. One does certain things. That's all kamya karma. Here, the karma themselves are not nitya, naimittika or kamya by themselves, but they depend upon the karta. Who is the karta? If a person is free from desires to a large extent, and the person knows that this is obligatory for me to do, I am obliged to do that, I must do this, I have to do this, that is a nitya karta, nitya karma karta. The person may look upon a karma as to be done, then it becomes nitya karma. Not for the sake of specific results like more money etc., but to be done. And then similarly, I am in the situation, I have to do, therefore a particular karma may become naimittika karma also. And if a person has certain unfulfilled desires, like going to Swarga etc., if it is there, then that a karma can become kamya also. So, both ways there are classifications. Certain karmas are mentioned as nitya karma, certain others as naimittika karma, and the others as kamya. That way classification also we see it is there. Not only that, this way also, one and the same karma may be nitya for someone or kamya for somebody else. In nitya and naimittika karma, there is no specific results. If the karma is done as nitya or naimittika, there are no aihika, amushmika results. They are not there. Then there is only chitta shuddhi. There is only purity of oneself. That is the result. Also, it is done as an Ishvara Arpana, as an offering to the Lord, to Ishvara. Ishvara Arpana, as an offering to the Lord you do, just as an offering you do. Like what we offer in temples, right? We offer flowers, fruit, etc. That is an Arpana, that is an offering. What do you expect from that? Nothing. In return, what do you expect? Don't expect nothing. Not necessarily you expect something. Right? Maybe some people offer with an expectation, with a prayer. Okay? You give me this, bless me with this, etc. There are prayers, specific prayers for specific things are there. But not necessarily. We just offer, that's all. Why do you offer? Just offer, that's all. Nothing expected, asked for in return. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Ishvara Arpana. Arpana to Ishvara. So, Nitya and Naimittika karmas are done for Ishvara Arpana, right? As an offering to the Lord. And it's all the bhavana, the attitude. It's not that Ishvara is in need of what I offer. Some bananas I offer, some mala, some garland I offer, some lamp I light. Ishvara is not in need of that. I need this. I need to do this, that's all. So, we call as Ishvara Arpanam, also we call it Ishvara Prasada. The benediction, the blessing, the grace of Ishvara, to earn the grace of Ishvara for Chitta Shuddhi alone, as in the form of Chitta Shuddhi. Also, Nitya Naimittika karmas remove the defects, the papa that are accrued. Papa nivritti is also there. In the ritual morning and evening prayers, Sandhya Vandana, and also in all other karmas, in the sankalpa, when the doer expresses one's intention, why I do this, right? What for I do this? When the person expresses the intention, the sankalpa, at that time, they say, Mamopata, Samasta, Durita, Kshayadvara, these phrases, this you may be familiar with, some of you may be familiar with. Mamopata, Samasta, Durita, Kshayadvara, Ishvara Prasada Siddhyartham. Ishvara Prasada Siddhyartham, etc. I do this. I do this for the sake of Ishvara Prasada, the grace of the Lord, to earn the grace of the Lord. And through Durita Nivritti, Durita Kshaya, Durita means Papa, Durita, wrongly done and wrongly gotten. Okay. Gotten what is wrong, that is the idea. Gotten what is wrong, Durita, Papa. Durita means Papa. Papa Kshaya, the removal of Papa, Duritam, the demerit, right? The demerit one gained through demeritorious actions, choices, by that. Papa Kshaya, Durita Kshaya, Dvara, Ishwar Prasada, gain the grace of the Lord. That is a Nitya Karma, Sankalpa, when the declaration of the intention, they say this. That is a Nitya Naimittika Karma. There is no specific gain of anything. Material gain is not there. Fame, name, etc. that is not there. Only Ishvara Prasada and Chitta Shuddhi is there. In Kamya Karma, there are specific intentions are there. Putra Praptyartham, Swarga Praptyartham, Dhana Praptyartham, etc. In order to gain wealth, in order to go to heaven, in order to gain a child, etc. All these are all, the Kamya Karmas are also there. So, here the mantra refers to all the Nitya, Naimittika, Kamya Karma. And there is one more that is called Prayaschitta. Prayaschitta is an act of atonement. You make up for some wrong action, and you don't want the unpleasant result of the wrong action, so that you don't want to be afflicted by that. Then you do a Prayaschitta, a corrective action, an act of atonement. It's called Prayaschitta. So these four one has to do. Orally, there are actions, oral actions. Then there are Manasa Karma. Then there is a Kayika Karma, right? Manasa, mental actions in the form of Japa, chanting, repeating, there is a Manasam Karma. Also Dhyana, meditation, etc. is a Manasam Karma. Then there is the Vachikam Karma, oral. You recite something, you recite mantra, you recite a sacred text, you read a Gita, etc. This is all Vachikam Karma. Then there is Kayikam Karma, physically done with the help of hands and legs, etc. You do. That's all. You offer something, that's all Kayika. So these are all the various types of karmas. So mantra says, Karma kurvan eva. Keep doing. How long should one do? The mantra says, Shatam samaha jijivishet. Shatam, 100. Samaha, years. 100 years means full life, lifelong. Jijivishet. The word jijivishet means jivitum icchet. May one desire to live. May one desire to live for 100 years, doing karma alone. Here, the desire to live is not being prescribed here. The desire to live is there naturally. Right? Everyone desires to live. Everyone wants to live. Everybody wants to live. Even the age-old person wants to live for some more years, live happily. So, this jivana ichcha, the desire to live, the keenness to live is there for all. Therefore, that is not given as a rule. Jijivishet, may you desire to live. It's not a rule enjoined, it is already there. The jivitum ichcha, jivana ichcha is there, already there. But then what is prescribed here is karma kurvan jivet, that's all. May you lifelong you keep doing things to be done. Keep playing the roles depending upon one's own station, one's own stage in life, one's own position, the place, time, other factors, etc. Depending on them, keep doing what is to be done. Bhagavan says in the Gita also, Kuru karma eva tasmat tvam. Arjuna, Kuru karma eva. Karma jyayaha akarmanaha. Karma jyayo hyakarmanaha. Being active is definitely infinitely better than being inactive. Don't be a lazy bone. Okay? Lazy bones. Lazy to the core. Don't be a lazy bones. Okay? Do, keep doing. So, here, let me be active. There is one person who said that I would better wear out than rust. Okay. I would prefer to wear out and than to rust. Not doing anything, I just rust. Okay. I just rust. It's very clear, very obvious. Suppose I don't move my hands. After some time, it becomes rusty, it becomes stiff. It becomes stiff. The muscles, the bone joint, they become stiff. So they said the joints are not meant to be stiff, kept not moving. Okay. They are given for movement alone. Okay. Otherwise, why should there be a joint? If movement is not intended, why should there be a joint? I should be like the corn, what do you call that? What do you call that? Scarecrow. The scarecrow. Like in the field, corn field, paddy field, wheat field, like in the scarecrow. Hands and legs are given for to be active alone. To do, keep doing. So therefore, otherwise they just rust. There is no point in having this. Therefore, jivitum icchet means keep doing, be active, do things to be done. And also in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says here, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakriti. One cannot remain inactive even for a short period of time. The person may engage in leisure, right? In amusement, in fun, but that's still an activity, right? Only when one is asleep, one is inactive. Even then some activity, breathing goes on, snoring goes on, right? But that's not a willful activity, it is natural. No. But when awake, when the mind and everything is available, then one is active. Later on also, Krishna says later on, Nahi dehabrita shakyam tyaktum karmani asheshataha. It is just impossible to give up all actions. We have to do something or other, one has to do. One has to be active, do something or other one has to do. If not physical action, oral action. If not physical and oral, some mental activity. Like we see people engaged in meditation, right? That's a mental, manasam karma. And of course, preparation for that mental action, one has to prepare one's like asana, and then the ability to sit for length of time, etc. has to be done. That's all has to be done. Body, the cleaning of the body, etc. that has to be done. So, nahi dehabrata shakyam tyaktum karmani aseshataha tyaktum, to give up totally, it is not possible. And therefore, what should one do? If a person is wise enough, do what is to be done. Otherwise, one will engage in things not to be done. That's why they say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, they say. Idle means not doing to be done. Then what will do? Mind will become a devil's workshop. Will contrive all devilish things, okay, to be not to be done. What do you have? I have time. I have 4 hours in the evening. I have nothing to do now. Go to the bar, okay? Go to the pub, okay? Have a couple of, etc. When one thinks that there is nothing to be done now, then one may engage in what is not to be done. And that leads to anartha, right? What is undesirable, it leads to. Therefore, keep doing what is to be done. Don't be lazy. That's what. Keep doing something. Even a snail is very busy, okay? Moves very slowly, but very busy moving, okay? Its own speed, top speed, it is moving, okay? Some 5 meters per hour, not 5 meters, 5 feet per hour, okay? Something like that. Top, very busy. A snail is very busy, okay? We see all the creatures in nature are very busy. They are very busy going about doing what they need to do. They are very busy. So, kurvanneva. Therefore here, the jijivishet, may you desire to live. That is not, desire to live is not suggested, because it is already there. Already prapta, it is already there. But then what is suggested here is, keep doing. Karma kurvanneva. Shatam samaha jijivishet. Okay. Why 100 years here? 100 years seen as the natural longevity, the span of human life. Normal span, human lifespan, 100 years. There are people who live more than 100 years, of course, and there are many people who do not live for 100 years also. But the normal human lifespan is 100 years. So lifelong, that is the idea. Shatam samaha. Now, the mantra says, now, there is no other way. Itaha anyatha na asti. There is no other way. Here, for what? No other way for what? Tvayi nare karma na lipyate. The karma does not cling on to you, does not stick to you. There is no other way. Keep doing. There is no other way of becoming free from karma. Very curious, right? Seeming. Do so that you are not affected by the karma. Karma na lipyate. So that the karma does not cling on to you. There is no other way. This is a very interesting statement. Right? So this implies karma na lipyate. Karma does not cling. Karmana na lipyate. You are not stuck by the karma. That indicates here very clearly that what is said here is karma yoga. In karma yoga alone, the karma result, the aihikamushma result, is not the intention, is not sought, and therefore they do not cling on to the doer. Therefore, na karma lipyate nare clearly indicates the karma yoga is what is being suggested. Okay. So, very interesting. We will continue this tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం.